But I've always not always, for a long time now, a few years, I've kind of felt like this, and I wanted to drop it on you guys. And I'll be talking about the Adam and Eve story and what I learned from that story. And not only that, I'm going to talk about how what I learned changed my life. And I guess let's just start at the beginning. You had Adam, right? Created by God. And based on what we read, he had everything. I mean, not only did he have everything, he was naming stuff. You know what I mean? Not only did he have the Lamborghini, right? But he was the one who named it Lamborghini. Okay, so he was doing okay for himself. And I think that part of the story that gets left out is that, see, people, they think that human history started when Adam and Eve got in the garden, and then they got kicked out of the garden, and then it just go on and on, right? They are starting with the wrong premise. Okay? Now, and I'm going to break this down for you. Adam had the blueprint. He was given everything. Everything he needed was there. This whole thing about Eve coming into the picture was Adam's idea. That was just something that God was like, okay, I mean, I'm hooking you up with everything else. You got everything that I could think of, and I'm God. Like, that was all he could think of. The world and shit. You see what I mean? He's like, damn, I thought I had given him everything he wanted. And he did give Adam everything he wanted and everything he could have possibly needed. But what Adam did was he asked for more. Eve wasn't part of the original plan. And that's what people are losing sight of. They immediately assume that Adam and Eve were what God started. Mm-mm. What God started was everything and Adam. Eve was an afterthought. Okay? So now you take that idea there where people have misconstrued. I think it's misconstrued or screwed. Which one is it? Misconstrued. That whole idea. And do you now then you have to go even deeper with that, because you have to say, well, what if Adam had never asked for Eve? And there wouldn't have been other people, right? This is just based on what we're reading in the Bible. And a lot of our concepts that we follow today, believe it or not, are all pretty much based on the Bible. What you think is right and wrong, all that stuff, even if you're not a Jesus freak, you know what's right and wrong because it's ingrained into you as a kid to pretty much follow the Bible. So, with that premise that Eve was part of the whole plan, what the human race has said that we've said that we're supposed to be together. We're supposed to be married and all this shit, when actually it was a mistake. That was a mistake, because like I was saying earlier, what if Adam didn't ask for Eve? What would have happened? Well, we know for sure there wouldn't have been any other human beings on the planet, right? But what else would have happened? Then it would have just been Adam, and he just owned the fucking world? Mm-hmm. And for the people whose third eye is open, you should see where I'm going with this. Would you rather have a beautiful? You can imagine how beautiful the world must have been when it started, right? Probably blinding beauty. You see what I mean? The fruit, everything perfect. The air, water, you name it. Water probably tastes better than soda back in that time. Would you rather have all that and not have Eve? Cause that's when shit got fucked up. I'm trying to have a serious video. But that's when shit got fucked up though, right? It started so immediately that people assume that that's the beginning. No, the beginning didn't have anything to do with Eve. Now you're going to take an imperfect being, right? And he probably was damn near perfect. Adam was probably damn near perfect, but he wasn't perfect. He wasn't God, right? He was probably 99.99999% perfect, right? But see, when you take that rib out of Adam that was not quite perfect, what happened? Sin, rebellion, rape, murder. Within the first generation, their first child was killing. You feel me on that part? It didn't take long for that imperfection to start exploding into humanity. Now, what if Adam had said, you know what? I could have this bitch right here. Probably drew a little stick figure in the ground, right? Put some titties on him, nice little ass and shit, right? He was like, I could have this bitch right here. But what if he had been able to see what would happen? What if he could have seen into the future? Do you think that he would have made that same decision? Knowing that his first son was going to kill his second son? That his wife was going to beguile him into eating from the tree of life? Do you think that he would have rather have had peace of mind for eternity with God? And see, what I do when I read the Bible, and it's taken a long time, okay? I read all of the religious texts. And I study things. But what I decided to do about 4 years ago, and this is how this story relates to my life, was take that lesson in life, or take that lesson from the Bible and apply it to my life. So for the last 4 years, I haven't been in a relationship, and this isn't a walk that everybody's going to be able to walk, because I'm going to tell you, if you're not at a certain age, and if you haven't had enough women in your life, and it's going to take a lot. For me, it took a hell of a lot of women to get to the point where I could be like this. But, if you're not there yet, get there so that you can clear your damn mind and try it. Because you know what? I haven't had an argument with any type of female companion in 4 years. First time in my life that's ever happened since I had a girlfriend at 15. There's been some kind of argument, some was disagreement, or she getting on my nerves or something. The guys know what I'm talking about. I love you, ladies. I love you, ladies. I'm not trying to say that women wasn't a great idea from Adam. I'm not saying that wasn't a fucking great idea, Adam, if you're listening out there in the universe. It's a great idea. Because some of my best times have been with women. And you know what? Some of my worst times have too. And I bet there are a lot of people that can attest to this. So what I'm doing is almost an experiment with myself. But now this is after I have some age on me. I've lived a full life. I've had tons of women before, and I'm not trying to brag about that. I was a tennis coach, professional tennis player. I mean, okay? So then I did the coaching for 20 years. I mean, imagine how many women that crossed my path. It's unbelievable. So, like, you gotta get there. Most guys aren't gonna be around enough for women to get to where I was. And if you can't control your sexual behavior, you're going to drive yourself crazy trying to do what I'm doing. You got to be a mature male as well. You see what I mean? You got to be mature. And you're going to have to go through that little lonely part where you like feel like, well, I haven't put in a while. You know what I mean? You're going to go through that, but it goes just like anything else. If you used to drink, I used to drink. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I can't have a drink now. But I used to drink pretty much every day, just a little something here and there, because I was a tennis coach. And my life was so carefree. I could do it. You see what I mean? But after a while, I was like, I don't really need that in my life. You know what I mean? And then told myself, you know what? Don't go to the fucking liquor store. That's how I quit drinking. You see what I mean? I just told myself I'm not going to the liquor. If I don't end up in the fucking liquor store, nobody's gonna bring it over here. You see what I mean? Now, for what, 2-3 weeks, that shit was bothering me. After a while, I didn't think about it. Now, I still smoke weed. You know what I'm saying? I mean, life is boring to me if you don't do something. But you don't want to do anything that's, like, real destructive. And I'm not, like, a real, like, I'm getting high type weed smoker. I just smoke, get a little bit of a buzz, and you can't even tell if I've been smoking or not. Either way. But, that was just something that I wanted to drop on you guys, and you feel free to leave your comments if you're so inspired to, and let me know what you think. Especially like the guys, and I know the girls might be like, "Oh, he don't like women and shit." It's not that. He think that all that shit is off. No, it's not your fault, women. It's not your fault because it was our fucking idea. It was the man's idea to create you. That didn't have nothing to do with God. That's just like what some people say, I want to be famous, right? God's like, do you? Cause you don't know what this shit about to get you into. God, only praying night after night. The person is practicing, performing, you name it, to be famous, right? So God's like, what? All right, fuck it. Here, I'm gonna make you famous. Or what? Oh, here, fuck it. All right, I'm gonna give you Eve. See how that works? Do you see why I'm the baddest man on YouTube?